Hello, everybody. This is Robert again. There's been a little bit of confusion here, so I think we're going to take this, break it down to very basics, and the first thing we want to learn in Revit is the user interface. Okay. When you first launch Revit, this is what we call our startup screen. What we'll have here are recent files. This is how you open a file, and it normally goes to your recent openings. Okay, and so remember, this is your startup one. We'll go more into detail in this later on. So, for instance, now here, we want to just go here to new, and these are our templates that Autodesk provides. You can create your own. We have the construction template, the architecture template. Okay. And then we'll go for practice 6, we'll open the architecture template. We'll press OK. Now, the first thing happens, you'll go into this window, and the first thing we want to look at here is, if you can follow my cursor, hope you can see that. I'll move it around a little bit. This here is what we call the application menu. This opens files and whatever and stores them. And then above here we have our quick access toolbar. These functions here are, dimension, text, 3D view, section, line weights, and then also here we have the drop down where you can customize your access toolbar. Okay, and then we'll move across here. This is what they call the info center. The info center is basic for help things. You want to get help. You can go out and you can search, and then you sign in. If you have an account, you can sign in, and then here is the basic standard: Windows close, minimize, and window view. Okay. Next we have is what we call the options bar. Now I'm gonna activate the options bar. I'll just draw a wall here. There you go. Now this right here is what we call the options bar. You'll get things like the wall height, the wall depth, and the type of line or wall placement, center line, face, view, change, select, different offsets and things. Um, so that's what we call the options bar. Now, next is something we'll use a lot. This is what we call the type selector in this area right here. Okay, so now let's just do a brief review. This is the application menu, the quick access toolbar, the going across to the info center. Okay, and then we have our options bar, which will be green most of the time when you see it. It'll pop up as a green uh, thing that you will show different options. Okay, and then here's our type selector. Now, type selector is used so when you place entities, it'll give you different types. So mostly activated when you select the wall or entity, and then you'll have all your different types of walls, for instance. There we go. So these are all the different type of wall types that's available uh, in Revit. Now this will work with just about any entity that you'll use. So just be aware of that. That's your type selector. Now, this is another important aspect. This is our properties palette. Now, the properties palette here is used for different properties similar to AutoCAD. If I select that wall, as you can see, excuse me, there are the properties of the wall, the wall height, the bounding, whatever. There'll be all all different types of properties here. It'll give you all information and properties to the element that you select. Next, we have the project browser. This is our project browser. The project browser displays the levels, all of your different uh, elevation views, north, south. You'll also have your sheets. And, you know, like say for instance, if I create a section here, the sections will pop up here. So everything within your project will happen here in the project browser. Now, excuse me again, talking in the night here. Yeah, just move this guy up here and see, he moves around and whatever. So the next important thing is the status bar. Now the status bar is at the very bottom here. So say I go here and I'm drawing lines, or let's see, let's add a door here, for instance, architecture door. And what the status bar does, it's very important. I wish it was higher. It tells you what to do, what really you need to be doing next. So say it just said click a wall and place a door and spacebar to flip it. So I can place my door and it's telling me I can put the spacebar to flip it or whatever. So that's basically what the status bar does. The status bar basically tells you what you're expected to do or the next function. It's very helpful for beginners if you kind of get lost and don't know what you're doing. Okay. The next thing we have in the user interface is the view control bar. Here's our view control bar. It deals with all the views from scale. I'm looking down here now. This is the view of the drawing, whether it's fine, medium, or coarse. And I can just give you a good example here. If I go into this window, to this wall, this is just a generic wall. So let me just change this to a wall with, let's do a, good one would be exterior brick on CMU. Now it's fine now, but it's coarse. So if I go to fine, there you see the finish. So this is what the view control bar does. This function on the view control bar gives you the different views as far as wireframe, different. You can go shaded, and you can go consistent colors. Then we'll show you realistic. So this works with every type of view. Okay, so let's just go back to hit 9. Now be aware that when you're using the view control bar and the visual style, uh, it's very important that you want to use hidden line or something that's more user friendly with regard to user time depending on your computer. Okay. Um, Next we have sun paths, shades, shadows on and off. Crowd view. We'll look at crowd view later on. This, we've done some exercises where we had crowd views. That turns it on and off. These are crowd regions, and this is temporary hide and isolate. Example is here. We can temporarily hide. We have to select something and say we want to hide this element, and that door disappears. It goes away temporarily, and we reset with that button. This is the reveal hidden elements. Um, you'll see these on exams. They may say, how do you find hidden elements? So for instance, I'll go here and I'll hide and view element or category. All of those are hidden. I'll select the light bulb, reveal hidden elements, and there they are. To bring them back, you just right click and unhide category. Okay. This is for analytical models. Now I'm going to turn this off now. This is view properties. This is basically for high-end analytical models, and this is the reveal constraints. We have some dimension uh, exercises. We'll look at revealing and revealing constraints. Now, this is our drawing area. This is where we draw at in a model, and it'll pop up on just about everything we look at. Now, the next thing we want to look at here, as I scroll across with my mouse, this is what we call as the ribbon. Okay, so this is the ribbon. Then above the ribbon, we have the ribbon tabs. So I'll go into each of these tabs and what breaks out. Say an architecture tab, you have basic architecture commands, and then with structure, you have structure and systems, electrical. Insert is all your insert commands, insert a link file, CAD drawings, import CAD, coordination model, annotate, all your annotations from dimensions to adding text, tags, and legends. Analyze is basically more advanced. We'll get into that. Boundary conditions, load, all the way down to energy analysis. Okay, mass sending site, mass forms that we covered a little bit, and then site forms and topography. In the Collaborate tab, we have working in collaboration with central models. A lot of things now are done in 360, whereas where everybody's collaborating back to a cloud. So we'll work on that as well. Then we have our view command where we can create view templates, visibility graphics, thin lines. I always, if I something I want to see or something visual, I always go to the view tab because everything's here. The callouts, the plan views, the elevation, drafting views, duplicating views. We've done that. Legends, schedules, scope boxes, sheets, and whatsoever. And then if you ever say, if I lose the properties tab here, go into the view tab and on the ribbon all the way to the end, user interface, and you click properties and it comes back. Now from time to time you may lose that bar. So just keep in mind it's something visual you need to see. Go to user interface and click on project properties. You can also pick up your project browser if you lose it. So for instance, project browser goes away, user interface, project browser. Okay, going well. Okay, now that pretty much covers mostly everything in the user interface basically. Okay, now here I want to go and show you this under the architecture tab. We'll have what we call contextual tab and ribbon providing tools relevant to a selected object or current action. And you'll find that here on the modify. Also, on the ribbon, you'll have this little arrow here where you can change the status, go from small to no, none, depending on how much view space you want. In here, you can cycle through, minimize the palettes. You can minimize tabs. I don't really bother with this that often, but it depends on the screen size and what you want to see. Okay, and now next we want to look at the panels on the ribbons. Now say if I go into architecture, this is the build panel. It can be dragged out and moved back into place. So you see, you can drag this guy out. So all of these panels are interchangeable. You can move them around, customize them in wherever you want. So just keep in mind, this is a brief go over of the Revit user interface. We'll go more into depth later on, but this is a good start for you. Beginning, I know we've done some exercises, but I think now we're going to get a little more advanced. We need to know the Revit user interface. So thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please subscribe. Thank you and bye.